All right, should be recording now. Yes, okay, good, we're good. Okay, guys, I am so happy to see you, Courtney, Alyssa, and I know there's a few more that may be popping on, others watching the recording. That is just fine, but I do have quite a few things I want to go over tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and just power through, and if people hop on, that's great. And as always, you guys feel free to interrupt me, ask a question if something pops up in the moment, or if you think of something and you don't want to interrupt me in that moment, write it down. We have Q&A time always at the end, so feel free to ask questions, okay? All right, so tonight on the agenda, welcome and prayer, announcements, and then a topic, how to eliminate the sidetrack and stay the course. I'm going to try really hard not to do that too much. And then Q&A at the end. So let me go ahead and open us up with a quick prayer. Lord, I thank you for another opportunity to come together. Those of us on this team that are working to build a business. And I just thank you for each of the people that are giving their time to be here tonight and their time towards bettering their families' lives through a business that is close to each of our hearts. I just pray, God, that you would continue to bless Team Heart, each of these women, each of their own individual teams, each of the people that they have the opportunity to work with, and the many more that they will work with. And I just pray, God, whatever message or piece you want us to take from this, that you would help us to hear it and to leave with even one driving thing to help us continue to better ourselves and to better our businesses so that we do them and serve well with integrity. Pray this in your name. Amen. All right. So first up, if I can get it to go. Here, okay. Announcements. Okay, I know it seems early, but I am really wanting to get more of our Team Heart people to Super Saturdays because they're just so helpful. And anytime that we have the opportunity to be together physically, it's just like sparks fly. Like really, you get together and it's so meaningful getting to be in the same place and getting to learn and grow, and you literally tangibly experience the inspiration in the room of all of the talented and amazing people that are a part of this company. So I encourage you to mark your calendar wherever you are able to get to, the nearest one where you are. They're all over the US, and one that gets closer to time, you will be able to look on the Beachbody website and see if there's one near you. But the next one is April 8th. I know Wichita I'm helping host, and it will be on that Saturday. I know Kansas City is having Super Saturday on that same day, and they have some super secret surprise guests. I know Wichita, we're getting some surprise speakers to video in with us, which will be awesome. We have some surprises up our sleeves too, but we're also going to be having that gathering on the Friday before, whether it's at Melissa's again this time or not. I don't know. It depends on how many people we have and if she's available. But no matter what, we're going to have a sleepover that night before and have game night and fun and just hanging out so we can grow as a team. And then oops, I am hearing a dog. Oh, Ashley, hey, I'm going to be ready. There we go. Anyway, it'll be that Friday before, and everybody is welcome, whether you are working this business or not. We get together on that Saturday, we work out, you do hear things about the business, but mainly it's truly just inspiring time. And I always leave ignited and ready to just rock forward from that point forward. So mark it on your calendar, plan to be, if not in Wichita with us, at another one on April 8th. Next up, let's see here. Health Bet. Yes, I cannot believe this month is already coming to an end. Crazy. Or not month, this challenge is coming to an end. Because it seems like we were just like getting all pumped up about it. But it does end on Sunday. It is important to make sure if you have people in Health Bet groups that their contact information is correct on their account. So if they happen to have put do not contact, I know I have a few people I need to reach out to that put that. If it says do not contact, they won't be able to receive money because they have to have that information to send a check out, right? So make sure that you personally have your stuff in there correctly on your account, and also that your people, if you have people that are in groups, that you have them set up and ready to receive their money too. I know our Health Bet group, the one that I've been able to lead, has been so much fun. It's been a really, really good group, and I'm sad to see it end. But I know a lot of you guys will be going over to other groups, so we'll continue the fun. Okay, next up here. Let me minimize that. Team Cup, it has kicked off. For those that participate, it is statistically proven that you achieve far more in that month than those that don't participate. So obviously you can't sign up for a team any longer, but I encourage you to look forward. We always have Team Cup at least twice a year. It is a fun incentive to reach more of your why you are doing this business. So everybody who is a part of a team has the opportunity to earn prizes, has the opportunity to grow in accountability with their team, has the opportunity to reach out to more people that need our help, has the opportunity to grow and brainstorm and build really fun ideas for their challenge groups. So just so many awesome epiphanies and experiences for me have come from Team Cup. And not only that, but those have tended to be my most successful months as a coach. So if you aren't in one now, you need to be next time. And if you are in one now, let's rock this month. This is also February last month for the All Access Pass. So the Beachbody On Demand All Access, the final month, it ends at the end of February. So I know for me, like every person that I am talking to, I give that normal conversation, you know, just asking all about them, learning as much as I can about their goals, where they're at, their struggles, their successes, things that they're strong in. I go through all of those questions and really get to know my people before I ever even offer them any kind of program or like All Access Pass. That's not, you don't lead in with that, or at least I don't. But I always end my conversations when I share a program that I think would be great for somebody. I then, once they've said, yes, that looks good, I'm on board, I let them know that this is an option right now. And a majority of people are going that direction because it gives them, I mean, it's so awesome. It is an incredible deal to have a year worth of the whole entire company's programs and all that we'll release this year. So those of you on our team that haven't upgraded, you have this month to do it. It is, if you already are a coach who has Beachbody On Demand or club membership, you get to upgrade for $90. If you've already had your quarterly fee come out recently, they will deduct that. So it'll be whatever, $90 minus whatever you have already paid in since December. So for some people, that's, $40 because they've already had a quarterly fee come out. But it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. And if you are somebody who is paying club membership, you're literally going to pay more with club membership than with that $99 upgrade fee. So it's worth it. Get it if you don't have it. Sorry, guys. This is me right now. Let's see, next one, National Wake Up Call. Every single Monday, I know we have some new coaches, and National Wake Up Call is our business call on Monday mornings, every Monday morning, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's different coaches come on and speak, different people from the company come on and speak. Sometimes they bring in special guest authors, all kinds of incredibly inspiring people. And even if I always tell my challengers about these calls too, because yes, they have business information. Yes, they inspire us to do better in our businesses and to push harder, and they give experience of people that are business-minded people. But just as everything in this business, it betters your whole entire life. If you could apply the principles of this business to every aspect of your life, it will be better. So I am always left inspired from those calls. And I wanted to let you guys know our CEO, Carl, is actually speaking on Monday. And it's always exciting when he's on because he just gets on these like inspirational runs. And I always leave fired up from hearing him speak. So his topic is Don't Close a Sale, Open a Relationship. And just speaks, that title right there just speaks to the heart of him and the heart of what this company is about. So I'm excited to hear him, and I hope you will take the time to listen, either live or listen to the replay. A few people I want to shout out for this month. Victoria, whoop, whoop, whoop. She has had a little bit of a rocky time over the last few months. We've all been there. We all have times like that. And she kicked butt in January and helped several people to get started and hit Success Club 10 last month. So just wanted to give her a shout out. I know she worked incredibly hard for it and has been battling to get back on track with things. So way to go. I'm super proud of you. I also wanted to shout out Miss Courtney. She also has been struggling for the past month and a half with the same crud that I have. I think we both have been sick like crazy, and she is still in the beginning of her journey, starting out with those kinds of setbacks, things holding her back. She has been pushing and doing the best that she can and showing up with what she has. And I know it's been hard. I know there's days that you feel like you haven't done well, but we all have those days. And I just wanted to tell you, good job. I see you're working hard. I see that this is important to you. And I'm proud of your hard work. So way to go. And with that, I want to get into our topic for tonight. Staying the course. And this is the kind of thing, a lot of my topic tonight is going to be business related, because I've noticed that our team right now as a whole has a lot of people that are struggling with this specific topic, just sticking with it and sticking it through in the hard times. And I just wanted to speak empathy to you guys, that I understand where you're at. I've been there. I've just recently come out of one of those times. I want to share that experience, and I want to just try to encourage, hopefully inspire you that it's worth it, and that sticking with it is going to matter, because your family matters, and the dreams that you have for your family matter and are worth it for you to stick with it. So just a little bit of background, because I know we have some people on this call even right now listening live. We have some people that are going to be listening back, newer coaches. I don't know if you guys know like the gist of my story, how I got even to where I am with this coaching thing. So I just want to fill you in a little bit on me, and then we'll go from there. So shortly, just briefly, I started my coaching journey as a challenger. My coach, Rebecca, and I taught together at CMA in Wichita. And anyway, she started with 21 Day Fix in a challenge group with Kenzie. Kenzie Evans is her coach. She started in, I think it was like February of 2014, and told me about it. Was all excited because at the time I was like, 8 or 9 months postpartum. I was not losing my baby weight. I had not gotten back onto the working out wagon as I thought I would. I tried to go back out and just pick running back up, because that was what I had done prior to that. I was half marathoner. Tried to just get out there and go again, and it didn't work because I gained a lot of weight. And I also just was not healthy. And overall, I was eating really cruddy. I've never in my life been a healthy eater. I have always been a person who ate out at least once a day, and a person who would stop by Quick Trip and grab a bag of Skittles. And I had to have salty and sweet, so I get Skittles and like a bag of chips. Like, I mean, that was just what I lived on all the time. Stuff to just kind of make sure I wasn't starving. But I didn't think about nutrition at all. Even when I was running, even when I looked on the outside like I was really healthy, I was not. So that was where I came from into this whole thing. And starting my mom life, I was nursing and started kind of realizing that the junk that I was eating was getting distributed right on through to my baby through my milk. And that was the first time that I ever really started to care. And I started looking, I was spending tons of time sitting on the couch nursing her. I was watching Netflix, and I saw all these documentaries about food and our food industry here in America, and I was just blown away. So I had my eyes open to a lot that I really had no clue about prior to that point, and started to talk to my husband a lot about how I really wanted to make a change, but I had no clue where to even start. I was totally at a loss, but I knew I had this like desire to make change, but I didn't know how to start. So that's where I was at when Rebecca started. She jumped in with 21 Day Fix and a challenge group and Shakeology and all those things. And I looked at her and said, I am so happy for you. Good luck. But internally I was like, oh my gosh, what is she getting involved with? I had like every negative thought that you could possibly have, every skeptical thought that you could possibly have towards the multi-level marketing, network marketing as a whole, and then let alone doing at-home workouts and having a little at-home program teach me how to change up my clean eating, that to become a clean eater. I was so skeptical. I was like, yeah, sure, they're going to take your money, have fun internally. I was like, they're going to take your money and it's going to be a scam and good luck. I didn't say this stuff to her, but that's what I thought. And it turned out that 2 months down the road, she was still going strong. She was still kicking butt with 21 Day Fix. She had lost a ton of weight and was looking amazing with 21 Day Fix eating plan. And over those few months when we would be sitting in, we didn't eat lunch together, but I would see her lunches, she'd post about them. I'd see them later in the day when I got home. And I was like, hey, she's like actually eating food. And she is working out every day. And what she's doing looks like it's like the real deal kind of healthy thing. So I just kind of watched from afar. And then she started inviting me to come to her classroom after school and work out, do the 21 Day Fix workouts. And I was like, little at-home workouts, I can totally do those. No big deal. I got my butt kicked the first day I went. She put on total body cardio. We all know that's like the devil workout. And I just stood in her classroom afterwards and was like, so this is real. Like this stuff is actually the real deal. And through those working out with her after school, being in her classroom, all of that stuff, we had conversations about nutrition. I started seeing that what she was doing was what I was wanting to do, but that I had no clue how to start. And so I ended up deciding in May, the last week of the school year, that I was going to, not the last week, the first week of the last month of the school year, that I was going to dive in and do this. And so I jumped in. I followed the 21 Day Fix meal plan, and I did the Brazil Butt Lift program. I jumped in with a challenge group with her. I took on Shakeology, even though I was like, whatever, I'll drink this stuff for a month and then I'm done. Another thing I was super skeptical about. I jumped in, did it, and within a week or two of that group, I was like, this rocks. I could already tell my whole body was starting to change. I started feeling better. And I didn't just like dive in and dabble. Like I dove in and I did it. Like I did it to a T. I didn't even do treat meals. Like I just went all in with it. And I think that's why I had such a stunning first impression, was because I just dove all the way in. Followed it to a T. by the end of that month, I was like, I have got to share this with other people. And that is where my coaching journey began, truly just from a organic wanting to share the changes that I had experienced with other people, because I was so excited. So I ended up signing up as a coach that last week of the school year. It was the day we signed on our foreclosure house that we bought, our first house we'd ever bought. I signed up as a coach at school with Rebecca, left to go sign the contract for that foreclosure house. That night we were in the house, gutting it, ripping out the carpet, it was a totally destroyed house. That next month I lived in my parents' basement, but I dove in. I kept going with my workout plan. I stuck with it. I would bring like little Tupperware to our little house because we were working all day long during the first month of the summer. I stuck to my plan, I shared about it, and my coaching journey just took off because I was willing to do what they say to do, just to share your journey openly. I wasn't posting about, buy this from me, buy that. It wasn't anything like that. It was just sharing my excitement for this journey, and that's how it started, and that's how it's continued for me. Now, the thing about it is, I eventually got down the road. I founded our team, Heart Team. I started growing and having people that wanted to do the same thing as me, wanted to jump in and maybe see if they could help some other people. I have had a lot of successes since that initial start. It really took off for me quick because I just dove in. You guys see a lot of my successes, but I want you to know that I have also had a ton of failures. I don't publicize those as much because it's hard to publicize failure, right? But I've had a ton of times, business-wise, my health journey-wise, different times. It's not a straight line. It's this. It's been this for me too. And I want to make sure you guys understand that for me too, I know what it is like to go through challenging times and know what it is like to have that battle within you about whether you should stick with this. And my hope tonight is to share with you that you can stick it out and you can stay the course, even despite those times. So I also know how easy it is to get sidetracked. Through my own personal experience, I've had times where I've gotten sidetracked. Through mentoring coaches on our team, I've watched other people be sidetracked. And I'm not talking about like Success Club, not hitting Success Club in a month. That's not the kind of sidetracked I'm talking about. I'm talking about sidetracked from what our mission is, what our purpose is, what our why, our strong and steady and firm foundation whys are in this business. I've gotten sidetracked from that. I've lost vision at times, and I see my coaches at times struggling with that. We have to just always continually refocus to that big picture though. So when we see that big picture, it helps us to stick with it, right? Something that, let me see here. I think I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next slide, and I'll go back to what I wanted to say after that. So let's dive in here. Success in this business, oftentimes people say that they're not successful because they need more of something, right? Like people will say, I can't be successful yet. I can't start yet. I can't run challenge groups yet. I can't build a team yet. Just all these like things that we think we cannot do yet because we need more. We need more. We need to run some free clean eating groups before we do that. We need to have, maybe we don't have good upline support. We think that we need to revamp the challenge group templates that our coach has because we can't copy it. We have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes we feel like we have to have more trainings for our coaches. We need to create our own new coach trainings. We need to have our own team manuals for people to dive in with so that they're not confused. We need to have our own team website. We need to have all these things in place before we can ever actually start and find success in this business. I hear that a lot. And I think back to when I first started, I had a lot of those thoughts in the back of my mind. But I want you guys to understand and know, success in this business is not about the stuff. Success in this business is all about the heart that you have for supporting the people that you are guiding and mentoring. If you have a heart for helping people change their lives for the better, that is all you need right there. When I came in, I can promise you guys, I didn't have like all of those things. I copied a ton of what Rebecca did for my group. I watched what she shared, you know, the kind of posts and things that she was doing. I obviously didn't like copy and paste them because we don't want to be cookie cutter coaches. That's not what we are. I looked at what she was doing though, and I made it my own. I didn't have free groups. Like I think I've ran like 2 free groups ever. So not something you have to have. Upline support. Maybe that's something you feel like you need more of before you can dive in. But the thing is, you guys, we come from last year's number 7 team, this year's number 9 team. We have like every resource at our fingertips. Everything that we could possibly need is on that Lux Republic, that Platinum Legacy, even in our Team Heart, even in the Fit Force One. There are so many resources that we have to help us get going. So even if you don't have that personal connection, maybe you don't feel that enough with your person, we have all of those resources, right? Hi, are you saying goodnight? I love you. I love you. I'm gonna lick your nose. No, don't lick my nose. Hey, can you wave and say goodnight? Good night. Say bye, guys. Bye. All right. Bye, Lucy. I love you, girls. Have a great sleep. Have a great sleep. Good night. Bye. Goodbye. Night, Lucy. Sorry, guys. You always get that during my calls, huh? Anyway, what was I saying?
And by sorry, she means you're welcome.
Let's see here. Oh, when I first started, I did not revamp the challenge group templates. I literally took exactly what Rebecca had used for my group, and the group that I started the next month, actually not the next month, like a few weeks later, like I just dove right in, you guys. I just copied exactly what she did. I knew that I had a natural gift for encouraging people, and I ran with it. That's exactly what I did. Over time, have I revamped it? Yeah. Over time, have I felt out the vibes of my group and changed things up a little bit? Yeah. But you don't need that to start. You take exactly the template that we have for you and you run with it. That's what you do. New coach trainings. You don't need to have your own stuff. There are new coach trainings in the Platinum Legacy. She starts one at the beginning of every single month. I know that Raina does new coach broadcasts twice a month on Thursday nights. I think it was earlier tonight. Twice a month she has those. Don't feel like you have to have those things yourself. We have got your back. Those of us that have been in this for a while, we help with that. That's what we are. We're a team. We do this together. You're not alone, okay? So you don't have to feel like you have to reinvent the wheel and create your own things at this point. Down the road, sure, yeah, you'll do some of your own things. But to start, no, you don't have to have that to be successful. You don't have to have a team manual. You don't have to have everything all together for your team. You don't have to have a team website. I still don't have a team website. I don't know if I ever will have a team website. I'm not a IT web designer person. So it's not something for me. I just connect with you guys on our team page. That's what I do. That's what's worked for me. You find what works for you and you run with it. But there's no reinventing the wheel. You don't need more. We have everything for you. And even if, just per se, like our team, we have all these things right at our fingertips, but even people who came into this business without any kind of upline support, not on our team, the Coach Online Office, I don't know if you've been in there and looked at it, there is a whole tab that is called trainings, And to start off with, there is a new coach training right there at the top of that tab. You can go straight through that. And I 100% believe that everything in that new coach training is everything you need to know to get started and to be successful with this. So it's not a case of needing more. You actually really need less, okay? The thing that I want you to really do some self, just check in with yourself. I have to do this stuff all the time. Self-reflection is incredibly important if you are wanting to grow as a person, as a leader, just in life in general. Self-reflection is incredibly important. So I have a few questions I want you guys to think through, okay? I do these all the time. I encourage you to think through it right now. People in this business, you get on those national wake-up calls, you listen to YouTube videos. When I first started coaching, I would just get on YouTube and I'd watch like all of those top coaches, and I'd watch tons of those videos. I couldn't get enough. I loved listening to the passion in their voices. I loved seeing how they led. I loved seeing how they achieved success. And I would just watch video after video after video, looking for, I guess, secret sauce, like what was the secret, like key to success that I could take and just all of a sudden have the success that they had. That's the kind of stuff I did in the beginning. I was always looking for that. And what I've learned, and even still to this day, when I get in those kicks of wanting to be trained by those awesomely successful coaches, the thing that I constantly see, it comes back to vital behaviors, like every time, right? Those of you that have been through this, same thing as me, you've been here for a while. You go through all those trainings. You listen to the national wake-up calls. You hear all of those coaches say vital behaviors. And I think that internally, I know I personally at times have been like, yeah, but there's got to be something more that they're doing, right? It doesn't seem like it can be that simple. But the thing that I have learned over time is that it truly, humbling as it may be, really is that simple. And the question that we have to ask ourselves is, have I really implemented those vital behaviors with consistency? And I'm not talking about just for a month, right? Not just for a few months. Like when we say commit for a year, that means, have I really implemented the vital behaviors with consistency for that year? And if you're like me, oftentimes when I've asked myself that question, I've gone, nope. I have let other things come in front of me. I've let other distractions get in the way. I've let things derail me from my ultimate why and my inspiration in this business. And I constantly have to come back to this super simple question of, have I really implemented the vital behaviors with consistency? Because it truly is that simple. Like right there, being a product of the product. Who is ever going to be interested in doing what we're doing if we can't stick with it ourselves, right? Like, I mean, that doesn't mean you have to be perfect. We're not all about perfection here. Myself, 100%, I'm not perfect. But do I give it my best? Yes. Am I committed to doing programs from the beginning to the end with the most fidelity that I can? Yes. Am I committed to working on my nutrition on a daily basis? Yes. Do I do it well every day? No. And that's just part of it. You share that with transparency, right? That it's not easy every day. But you have to be a product of the product for anybody to ever truly believe and trust you. So the second one is personal development. We all know, like, life is hard. We all go through these insanely hard times. We all have our own seasons of life that are hard. And what helps us to make it through the circumstances of life is our mindset and how rooted we are to Two, being able to keep moving forward despite the circumstances, right? Our responses to that are everything. And that is what determines whether we live a positive and fulfilling life or a life where we're constantly like in this cloud of unhappiness, right? It's all about how you respond to what happens to you in life. The best thing that we can do, though, so that we're not just constantly responding, is to fill ourselves up with the armor that we need mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of those things. Personal development for me has been everything in that department. We have to be doing personal development so that we ourselves can be inspiring to other people, so that we can live lives that are fulfilling and that aren't constantly just derailed and moving from one circumstance to the next, to the, responding. To live a fulfilling and healthy life, we have to be doing things that better our minds, our spirits, our hearts, our emotions, all those things. And personal development is that. So have to be doing personal development. And trust me when I say, the times that I am like in a rut with my posting on social media are times where I'm not spending enough time on personal development. My inspiration comes from that. And the things that help me to be a good leader in my challenge groups come from personal development. It's important for all of those things too. Third is inviting, right? Invite. We let fear get the best of us in that realm a lot of times. I know I did for a long time. And I've gone through so many phases in my business of, going from just cold inviting, like mass messaging as many people as I can, to the place I'm at now where I'm spending a lot more time on relationship building with people, getting to know people, and then being available when they're ready, inviting those that I already feel like I have a base with. There's good and bad to all ends of the spectrum on inviting, but the important thing is that you're doing it and doing it with consistency. The fourth one, our newer one, is recognition. People on our teams, people in our challenge groups want that positive affirmation, right? Like I'm one of those people, I love positive affirmation. I'm a words of affirmation. My husband knows that. Like I love having words of affirmation. I love being encouraged. And I think that's for a lot of people in our challenge groups, they come in hoping for and desiring some of that, right? And so spending time on that, maybe not daily. I don't know if recognition is something you do daily, but at least weekly. Like that's something that I try to do once or twice a week. Recognizing people on our team, recognizing challengers, either just within your challenge group or publicly, but doing those kinds of things, recognizing people, not only does it encourage the people that you're meaning to encourage, it also helps spread that word to the public that good things are happening within your team, within your groups, and it gets the word out that what you have is positive, uplifting, encouraging, and something that could definitely better their lives, right? So those 4 areas, we have to do it. We have to do it with consistency. And we have to do it for a long term. The actions that you take today, typically in a business like this, pay off 4 to 6 weeks from now. So if you're working hard and you're following your BAT and you're doing your vital behaviors, if you don't have momentum already built up with your business, like say you're just getting started with this consistency thing, 4 to 6 weeks from now is truly when you're going to start seeing the rewards of what you have sown. Okay? So it's not a quick thing that's going to click. It's going to be something you have to have some patience, some resiliency, some tenacity, all of those things that help us to be strong and powerful in a society that's not patient. So the kind of stuff that we have to have within us to be successful. The missing link oftentimes, see, I have these arrows here because it's kind of a recurring cycle. I ask myself these questions. Have I really implemented the vital behaviors with consistency? I also think that it's really incredibly important for us in order to see that doing those vital behaviors with consistency is important. We have to constantly remember, what is our inspiration? Like, we don't lack motivation. I've told you guys this. Josh Coates drilled this into my head. Motivation is not a real thing. If you feel like you're unmotivated, you're not really unmotivated, okay? You are uninspired. And the missing link oftentimes for us is that inspiration piece. We forget what it is that is causing us to even in the first place want to do this, right? And it has to be, well, let me ask you this question. What kind of legacy do you want to leave? And I'm not talking just in our businesses. Like, I want you to think like big time, bigger picture, your family, your friends, your life circle. Have you really sat down and thought about that? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? If you've never actually like sat down and wrote out what that looks like for you, do it, because it will be eye-opening. It will be one of those things that you just start to really self-reflect and understand what is important to you. And then from there, the trick is for us within our businesses, how can we align that inspiration, that legacy, that thing that's so important to us in life with what we have to offer through Beachbody, through our businesses here? There are ways, and sometimes it takes time to kind of sit, journal, write, think through all of those pieces, but there are definitely ways to take your inspiration, the legacy that you want to leave, and align it with this business. Sorry. I will tell you guys, for me, when I have sat down and really thought through this specific piece, it began to transform what I wanted our team to look like, the vision that I have for us down the road as we grow as a team of people that actually want to affect change in the world. I have passions for missions, and I have passions for helping people way beyond the borders of this country. But I have sat down and seen how this business can help me specifically with that legacy that I want to leave. And it's the kind of thing that fuels my flame. It makes me so excited. So this kind of inspiration piece can't just be, I want to help people, or I want to pay off debt, or I don't know. It can't be those little things. Like, you got to think bigger picture. Think truly that first question there, what kind of legacy do I want to leave? And that will start getting you to think bigger picture. I also have tied into this, my family. Like, my family is one of my biggest inspiration pieces. I look so forward to being able to constantly help my family, help my kids, to be there, to be available, to inspire my own children with not just healthy living, but but being a present, positive influence in their lives on a daily basis. Have I found how Beachbody can help me with that? Absolutely. So that's the kind of stuff that helps me in those times where I'm being derailed, in those times where I am wanting to fall off, or I'm starting to question, like, do I stay the course with this? Those are the kinds of things that for me fuel my flame and help me to turn off the Netflix binge watching that I'm doing. Turn that off, because my family is way more important than that. And I have people out there that need my help. And if I do my activities with consistency, if I work on building relationships with people, and I use the resources that this business allows me, all of those doors begin to open and I see that future. I can visualize that future where I want to be. So take time, do these things, really spend time reflecting on, am I really doing this stuff with consistency? And where does your inspiration lie? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? And how can Beachbody help you with that? Okay, and just I want to throw this out there for you guys, just so you hear. Sometimes I hear, in fact, I hear this quite often actually, and I hear it talked about maybe not necessarily about me, but about top coaches, about successful people in this business, people that have taken off with it quick. One of the things that I hear a lot of times is that successful coaches never hear objections, and they don't really have to try for Success Club. And that is just something that always rubs me wrong, because I feel like that mindset, when people have that, it doesn't bother me for a personal reason, because I know the work I put in, but I think that it messes with your mindset if you have these thoughts. It's this limitation that you put on yourself by thinking things like that, because it's a comparing, or I don't know, just a separation of us and me and you, or us and them, successful coaches most definitely hear objections. They probably hear more objections in one day than a non-successful coach hears in a week, right? The difference is that they are probably doing their vital behaviors like times, the 10X book, they're 10Xing it. Like they're talking to like 20 people in a day, or they're talking to 200 people in a month. They're hearing objection after objection after objection, and then they get somebody to connect. And the whole thought that they don't really have to try for Success Club, it's not true. It's not true at all. What I say to that is, the ugly truth is that you hear those backstories of people that have worked incredibly hard to get where they are in this business. I think that this business is not anywhere close to being obtained by luck. I don't think luck has anything to do with this. I think that it's correlated to the level, like I said before, the level of support that you are willing to give to your challengers and to your team, and to the hard work that you put into this with consistency. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes it's easy for us during a challenging time, or a time where we're struggling, to look at other people that are having success and to let it just totally deter us, like dishearten us, shut us down, get in our own heads and say, oh my gosh, it just comes so easy to them, I'm never going to get there. And I just want you to be very cautious allowing yourself to think things like that, because the things that we think on are the things that actually will happen in our lives. So if you're thinking those negative thoughts like that, you're allowing those mindsets to derail you and take you off track. You're really, really hurting yourself, not just with your business, but just life-wise, like you've got to work on that mentality piece. See other people on our team who are having success, cheer them on, be positive for them, and visualize that for yourself. Don't have those thoughts that limit yourself. Have those thoughts and that vision that helps you to see yourself being there by working hard, by working on your consistency, by allowing your inspiration to drive you. That's the kind of stuff we have to do during those tough times. Distractions happen. We all have them. The road is bumpy at times. Sometimes it's like way more than bumpy. Like we're like off in a ditch at times, right? Like life takes us on twists and turns that we don't expect. It is not always going to be sunny and 75 I promise you that. And I think oftentimes, even when we set out to do something positive in our lives, it gets harder, like right in that moment. A lot of times we're thrown a curveball right in that moment that is a make or break kind of thing. Like, am I going to push through this, or am I going to just let this stop me like everything else has in the past? We have to be able to have stronger mindsets and visions for our lives than those limiting beliefs that we sometimes have. So I have to say that to you guys because I hear it so often. And trust me when I say, like, I'm saying this from a humble, I have experienced it myself place. And I want to speak truth into your lives that you are greater than that. Okay? I know it. I believe it. You have to believe it too. Okay? Okay, so final thoughts here. Staying the course. You will get where you want to go by doing those things. Simple, simple, simple. Vital behaviors, consistency, keeping your mindset and your vision focused on what your inspiration is, okay? Don't jump off way before you get there. I think it's something like in our society nowadays, we like quick fixes. We like things to happen quick. Every single thing that we want pretty much can happen like this, right? So when it comes to something like beginning a business, it is foreign to us to have to experience hardships and struggles and a long road of troubles, more than triumphs often. It's so foreign to us. We don't know how to like make it through that. And so a lot of times we just quit. And I have watched so many people on our team, on our greater teams, that get off of what I like to call the cable car way before they reach their destination. And it breaks my heart because I can see where they could be. And I want you to think about that, like a cable car. You know, like if you're in San Francisco, you have those little cable cars that go along, they're on the track, they're guided exactly where they're supposed to go from above. They're oftentimes, like in San Francisco, they're traveling straight up that incredibly steep climb, right? But the thing is that they get where they're supposed to go if they just stay on the course. People sometimes hop off of that tram long before it reaches the top, long before it reaches the place that you are wanting to go, the thing that inspires you, right? And it kills me. It breaks my heart because I see so much potential in every single person that jumps into our team, every single person that's been a part of our greater team, our network as a whole. Like, I've watched so many people jump off of that tram way before it's time. And they don't see the big picture. They don't see where they could be if they just stayed the course a little bit longer. The thing that I see most often with people in our society as a whole, and what carries over into a business like this, rather than riding on a cable car, people are more like a seesaw, okay? You visualize the seesaw, teeter-totter. I do this all the time with my kids. You get some momentum, you go up, and then you go back down. You get some momentum, you go back up, and then you go back down. Seesaws never, ever get you anywhere. And that is how a lot of people have approached this business. They dive in, they're climbing, they're having successes, they get to that heightened spot, and then something rough happens personally in their life. They start struggling with their business. It's a little bit harder. Putting in the effort is a little bit more challenging. Success Club is something that seems a little bit more like work, and they drop back off. And then they pick up some momentum and they're like, okay, I'm back. And then again, things happen and they drop off. That seesaw, it never, ever gets anywhere. And you're constantly doing this. And that too, seeing people stick with it, but go through like the seesaw mentality breaks my heart too, because I see again where you could be. if you just stayed the course. So be a cable car. Don't get off early. Don't be a seesaw. Don't go up and then drop off. You guys hear me say this all the time. This is my last slide. I know I'm getting close. It's 10 o'clock now. Consistency breeds success. And you guys hear me say the word success all the time. Success is different for all of us. When I say that, I mean success for you. This isn't about me. I have my inspiration, my focus, my vision, the things that I'm working towards. But you have yours. And whatever that is for you, I want to cheer you on the whole entire way because I know that you can get there with that consistency. So don't forget that. Consistency is everything with this. That cycle that I talked about. Plan, implement, take time for self-evaluation, then repeat. Plan again, implement, self-evaluate, repeat. You keep that process going and you are going to go places. Really, really are. I know many of you on this team on a personal level. I know some of you I'm growing in relationship with. The more that I get the opportunity to interact with you is incredible. And what I see within the people of our team, within the people of our challenge groups, I see resiliency. And I want so much, more than anything, for you guys to see that within yourself because I see it. I truly see that within you. And I know that you guys, I believe this so deeply, that every single one of you has the ability to be resilient and to stay the course in whatever form of success you are working towards. Do not stop. Do not give up. You guys have it in you. All right. That is where I'm going to stop. I could have kept going on and on and on, but I know it's 10 o'clock and I want to respect your time. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and end our recording for everybody.